and welcome to today's video. So here I've got the Chapman ML3 Semi-Hollow Pro. I'm going to go with the normal demo format I typically use, so we'll hear a bunch of different tones and playing styles to begin with. Then I'll take us through each of the pickup positions on a clean tone, and then we'll talk specs and overall impressions to finish up. Just before we start though, if anyone does find this video useful or enjoyable, please do consider subscribing. It's very much appreciated and it really helps out, particularly where contacting companies to arrange borrowing guitars to demo and to create content with is concerned. But with that out of the way, we'll jump straight in. So I'll take us through the specs now. So we've got a straight maple top on a, I think it's pronounced Parapoc body. From what I've read, it's quite similar to mahogany. It's quite a dark sounding wood. Obviously with a thin line construction here. We've got two P90s as we've just heard. These are the Seymour Duncan vintage P90s on a three-way switch. Master volume, master tone, and these electronics feel really rock solid. There's no wobble on the switch, and the pots have got a nice bit of resistance to them. Chapman proprietary bridge, 6 saddles and string through. And flipping it over here, we can see we've got some contouring, tummy cut and access heel. This neck through joint, it provides a lot of access to the higher frets. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about that actually at first, because typically I prefer bolt-on with S-type and T-type guitars. But it is actually very comfy to get to those higher frets and feels like a really rock solid join. And that was actually one of the first things I noticed about this guitar was sometimes I find that thin lines can feel a little bit delicate. Particularly we've got quite a dense neck and a lighter weight body, but this still has a reasonable amount of weight to it. And it doesn't make me play tentatively where I find that some thin lines might do. So I thought that was a nice kind of playing experience in that capacity. We've got a roasted maple neck. It's a 13.5 inch radius, 25.5 inch scale length. I've got loom inlays down the side, and obviously the Chapman Infinity inlay there at fret 12. We've got Chapman's typical kind of reverse headstock design, and flipping it over, we've got the hip shot lock-in tuners on the back there. So as I mentioned before, I think this is a really kind of rock solid feeling thin line. And the reason I mention this is because I think sometimes thin lines can feel a little bit delicate, and I find that I play them a little bit more tentatively. Don't feel like hitting them quite so hard. But this, as I say, feels really rock solid. I think in part, you'll be able to see this on camera, but if I kind of feel where the backwood is there, it feels like there's about that, which feels a little bit thicker than typical for thin line. And I think that's really nice. As I say, it felt I felt a lot more comfortable on this than I have done on some other like semi-hollow style T-style guitars. And I like also that the fact that this guitar is doing its own thing. It's not trying to cover loads of bases. I'm glad they went with two P90s rather than two humbuckers with a split coil on. I think I like it when guitars kind of have a thing and stick to it rather than trying to cover every bass possible. But I've been really impressed with this. It's a really nice high quality built guitar. Aesthetically, I don't typically go for flake, but the flake itself is a really nice kind of size. You can get different sizes of flakes, and I think it looks very nice if flake is your thing. Obviously, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments section. And as I mentioned, if you did enjoy the video, please do click like and subscribe. It is very much appreciated. But with that said, thank you very much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.